16-year-old darts superstar Luke Littler has reached the World Championship final, defeating former world champion Rob Cross last night at Alexandra Palace. Here he is after the victory.
Unbelievable. Like I only set my goals to win one game and come back after Christmas, and I'm still here. Well, I don't have any GCSEs. Everyone's probably got more than me. In fact, I did pass me sport. But yeah, young dart players. Hopefully, they do look up to me, and if you do practice, then you could be where I am.
He's brilliant. I love him.
And he's so articulate. Actually, he's great. Although I must say, you'd have to pinch me if you're 16. He looks a little bit older than that, but there we are. Now he's taken the tournament by storm. He is in fact a prodigy, and he's going to become a media sensation, win or lose tonight.
That's right. This evening, of course, he takes on the world #1 ranked Luke Humphries. For those watching on TV, we're seeing Luke Littler and Luke Humphries together 4 years ago. So when Luke Littler was just 12 years old. Even at 12, he looks about 18. If he'd arrived on a dinghy, somebody'd be looking at his dental records, wouldn't they, to try and work out how old he is.
He'd have probably sank the dinghy, to be honest. Now, Sihab Mahmood works at Littler's favourite kebab shop, Hotspot, which is in his native Wakefield. And he had this, Warrington, and he had this message for Luke.
He loves the doner wrap, he loves it, he loves the kebab, like his famous phrase, but that's why I've also introduced his own kebab. It's called the Luke the Nuke Special Wrap, I think it is. If you're watching Luke, you are going to...
Oh, it's brilliant, isn't it? So Luke is now 19 days from his 17th birthday as the youngest player to ever reach the World Darts Championship final. It is a proper David versus Goliath underdog story.
It's terrific. It really is terrific. Well, joining us now is the former World Darts champion, Steve Beaton. Steve, morning to you.
Morning.
Morning. Now, Steve, this is fantastic. People like me who've never had any interest in darts whatsoever, we've been completely swept up in all of this excitement. It's doing wonders for the sport of darts, isn't it?
Oh, yeah. I mean, for the youngsters watching this now, it's unbelievable, really. I mean, you know, it's a dream come true for Luke, you know, from where, to get to the final now. But fair play to him. He qualified through his own steam, you know, he did well in the development tour, and now he's got a tour card for next year as well. But, you know, he's done it all on merit, and, you know, it's going to be an interesting final tonight. I'm looking forward to it.
How old were you, Steve, when you became world champion?
Sorry?
How old were you when you became world champion?
Oh, I wasn't that young. No, I think I was 32, so it was a bit later on in life for me.
Yeah.
Darts wasn't as big then, but it's got huge now.
Yeah. For somebody like Luke, I'm thinking about other sports. You know, if you're doing Olympic sports, swimming, athletics, running, the parents play a big role. They're ferrying kids to and from training every day. Would Luke's sport have had that sort of impact on his family growing up?
Yeah, I mean, he's got great support behind him. His family's been brilliant, and I mean that's what you need as a youngster in any sport. You know, you need your backing from your family. But he found the talent when he was younger, and it's just a matter of practicing and developing that talent. And he's proved that. You know, I mean, it's still unbelievable that he's only 16. You know, and he's got to the point now that he could be champion of the world.
It's how does somebody that young, Steve, copes with the pressure? Because it must be pretty scary, even for somebody like you who's been around a long time. Sometimes to go on that stage, the cameras are on you, the audience is very passionate in the alley pally, and yet he seems to be as cool as cucumber.
Yeah, I mean he's dealt with everything, marvellously. I mean. From his first game on Ali Pali, even his averages have improved, his performance has improved. He looks like he's enjoying it up there, and it's shown in his game. And some players thrive on the audience. They play better on in front of the camera, and I think he's one of them players.
Who's he playing tonight, and what chance does he actually have of winning?
He's playing Luke Humphries, who is playing absolutely out of this world this year. I mean, he's won the last 3. TV tournaments. You know, he's on top form. I mean, he had 108 average last night, you know, so this final is going to be really, really good. You know, they're both, I think Luke had 106, he had 108 average last night. So I think we're in for a tremendous final.
They don't look, if you forgive me for saying so, Steve, like conventional athletes. Bev was talking about the Olympics earlier, and she knows a lot about Olympian sports. You know, he's not exactly slim, he's not very, very finely honed, is he, physique-wise, putting it mildly?
No, but I mean, like you say, you've got to remember he's 16, he'll be 17 in a few weeks now. But, you know, he's still young, he's still developing, you know, he's still growing. And, I mean, Luke was a lot heavier than he used to be. He's slimmed down a lot now to be able to compete. But, you know, if Luke feels comfortable, Little feels comfy, he feels comfy at, you know, the way he's carrying, then, you know, let him, you know, carry on. But, you know, I don't think that's affected his game at all. And, you know, he's just shown all the youngsters how to do it, really.
There is obviously the difference between, in a way, the world's top sports people and those that aren't, is coping under pressure. A lot of them behind the scenes could perform, be it on the track, in the pool, on a lake, or I imagine at the hockey, behind closed doors. But it's coping with that pressure in that moment, on that night, isn't it? It looks like Luke Littler is one of these young men who actually thrives on the pressure and does better when the crowd is making noise. And he looks like he loves it. Do you think that's the case?
Oh, definitely. Yeah, you hit the nail on the head there. He's actually enjoying every moment. You know, even down to his finishing. You know, he's looking at the crowd to see, you know, which way he wants to go, really. And that's driving him on, I think. And you know, if he wins this tournament, you know, it's going to be unbelievable for him.
The world will be his oyster. Do you think, if you're honest, Steve, that he will win tonight? What's your hunch?
I've got a funny feeling he might, because, you know, he's dealt with everything this week. To him, it's just going to be another game tonight. And although Luke Humphries is playing very well, but I definitely would like to think that, you know, who knows, he's got a good chance, I think, definitely of winning it tonight, the youngster.
And if he wins this £500,000, will there be people around him, Steve, that will help him manage that sort of money at this age? Because there's always a risk, isn't there, that things can go a little awry? Yeah,
definitely. I mean, like I said earlier, he's got a great family around him. He's, you know, I think he's got his head screwed on. He loves the game. This is going to put, if he wins this tournament, it'll put him in the top 10 in the world. He's got the whole year ahead of him. He'll also qualify for most of the TV tournaments. You know, he's got a great couple of years ahead of him. So I don't think he'll go awry. I think he'll cope with it quite well.
Well, let's hope so. We will be watching, and we'll be wishing him all the very best.
Well, great to talk to you. That's the former world champion. Great to talk to a world champion, isn't it?
Yeah,
world champion.
Very nice. And I know people are snobby about it, aren't they? It's not a proper sport, but I think it is. If it's about skill, technique, ability to perform under pressure, how is that not the definition?
Yeah, who did we talk? Who was the darts player we had on a few weeks ago who won the darts championship more than any other darts player in the world?
I don't think I was there that day.
Somebody's going to whisper the ear in my hands at some point.
The darts players I know is Eric Bristow, Bobby George,
and
then there's something van der What's-it. There's a famous Dutch guy.
Don't you remember Jockey Wilson?
Vaguely.
And there was a woman player called Maureen Flowers who was dating Eric Bristow. They were an item.
Yes.
She was a blonde.
It's all coming back to me now.
Yeah.
Let us know your thoughts, even if you just want to say how brilliant it is that we've got a Brit on the top stage, one of the World
16
Championships tonight.
Brilliant, amazing.